I just got back from doing some errands. I went to the post office and then I went to HEB and I picked up just a little bit of groceries for some stuff we need this week. We pretty much have everything else we need. These are just some added things that we might need throughout the week. So I got some bananas. I got some goldfish from my daughter. She gets those every week. I got some apple pie filling. This is for a recipe I'm making. I'm making some cinnamon rolls with apple pie filling in them. These are so delicious. So if you're interested in that recipe, tune in either this week or next week. I'm going to put that out. Tomorrow I'm going over to see my mom and she's going to show me how to make chile rellenos, which are these whole green chilies. You can find this at Mexican restaurants. They stuff them with cheese and then they fry them. So she's going to show me how to make those. But we couldn't find these whole green chilies anywhere. And HEB had them. So I picked them up. It's actually a pretty large jar, 1 pound. So that's where you can get those. These are for my daughter. They were on sale. Just some Red Bull. She's in a lot of different activities and every so often she'll have a Red Bull. I got some gum for us, one for me, one for her. I got some apples. I got some yeast for the cinnamon rolls I'm going to be making this week. Hopefully I make them this week. If not, you'll see them next week. I got some raspberries. I found these, which I was happy to find them because we were talking about how we haven't seen any of the yogurts with the fruit on the bottom. And I usually shop at Walmart and they don't have the ones with the fruit on the bottom. So I got some blueberry. I got 2 blueberry. And I'm wondering how many calories this is. So it's 140 for a container. It's about the same as the Yoplait ones. Strawberry with the fruit on the bottom. And strawberry. So I grew up eating like that kind of yogurt, so we were kind of just talking about that and we hadn't seen it anywhere. So I got some cheese to snack on. I got some more cheese to either snack on, or I have a bunch of jalapenos, so I might do like the stuffed jalapenos. You stuff them in cheese and wrap them with some bacon, and so I might do that. This is something different. Comment down below if you've ever tried this. It's chocolate hummus spread. And I'm thinking I might try this with some pretzels. Just like a little bit of a healthier snack for when we want some chocolate. So I don't know. It sounds actually kind of gross, honestly. But it's been on my mind for like a year to try this. So I'm going to go ahead and try it now. I got some guacamole for us to have with chips as a snack. I get the mild kind. I don't like too spicy. I got some pears in there, but they're falling out of the bag. But look at those pretty pears. We got just 3 of those. I think that's it in that bag. I saw these potatoes. They were on sale for $2.20. And we just made a lot of barbecue, so I'm thinking about doing stuffed baked potatoes tomorrow. So I got those, and it was just a really good price. I got some frozen okra. I'm making some gumbo today, and I was out of okra, so I picked that up for my gumbo I'm making today. And then there's just one other thing in here. I got some frozen mangoes to snack on. We like these as opposed to the ones at Walmart. They're smaller chunks and they taste a little bit better. So if you like frozen mango, try HEB if you have that there. I don't know. HEB is a Texas store, but I'm thinking they might have it everywhere. Comment down below if they have HEB if you're in a state different than Texas. But anyhow, this is all I picked up. It's just a little bit of a small grocery haul to get us over to next week. I do have a lot of food in my deep freezer, and I stock my pantries and all of that. So this is just kind of like the extras and things that I get that I didn't have this week. So that is what we got. All right, y'all. So let's get started on dinner. Tonight we are having gumbo. So we're going to use this Louisiana Gumbo Base. We're going to use some chicken broth and the various ingredients you're going to see me using here. We're going to use some garlic, some onion, some bell pepper, some celery, and we're going to make ourselves some really delicious gumbo to have on this cool, crisp evening. So we're going to start by putting in our chicken broth. We're going to use a big stock pot, and we're going to let it kind of boil. And as that's going on, I'm chopping up vegetables here on the side as well. So I've made a video before where I showed how to make gumbo. I will go ahead and also link that in the comment section and in the description. But you can check out my description where you can find the full recipe to this gumbo I am making here today. So here's the chicken broth. Now I'm going to go ahead and add in my chopped onion. And I'm going to let that kind of simmer. Everything's just going to kind of simmer together in the pot. And then I'm going to add in some chopped garlic. All of these flavors come together. It's kind of like the trifecta of the different ingredients you use when you're cooking Cajun style food. You need your bell pepper, your onion, and your celery. So here is the celery. We're going to go ahead and add that in as well. So don't leave out any of those. Those are really important to creating a really good taste for your gumbo. So these are some really big shrimp we had at a crawfish boil a while back. I froze them, and I'm going to be using them here today in my gumbo. So the other vegetable I use is okra, and you saw that in our grocery haul today. I just got the frozen kind. And so that's the simplest way to do is just get some frozen okra and add that in. So gumbo is a really big comfort food for me. Anytime it starts to get kind of cold outside or even rainy, I start to crave gumbo. And that's the same way for my daughter. It's really funny. We just start to crave it. So we had been craving gumbo, and so I'm going to go ahead and surprise everybody with it today. I'm going to add in some more okra here. And I'm going to let everything kind of simmer together. Those flavors kind of marry together. And this is the gumbo base that I'm going to be using today. It's Louisiana Brand. You're going to want to add that into cold water. So if you add in that base to, let's say, the simmering chicken broth I have on the stove, it's going to clump up. So make sure that you do follow the instructions and put it in cold water. And go ahead and whisk it up together. I have this little whisk that you kind of press down and it kind of mixes everything together. So that's what I'm using. You want to make sure that you get it really nice and smooth, that there's no lumps or anything like that. And when you've gotten that all together, you can go ahead and put that in with your chicken broth and it'll be fine. But I know I've made the mistake before of adding in the base to my hot chicken broth or whatever I had in the stove, and it just clumped right up. It was a huge mess. So make sure you do dissolve it in cold water. So today I'm using the dark roux. I know like in the past I've used some lighter one. This one has really good flavor and it's really thick as well. So I'm going to go ahead and now add that in to my chicken broth with all the veggies and stuff that have been simmering in the pot. And all of this is going to come together and create that gumbo kind of stew-like consistency. And it's already got all of the seasonings, the flavors, and everything in that base. So today I actually didn't add in any other seasonings and it came out perfect. Sometimes when I use some different brands of chicken or gumbo base, it sometimes doesn't have enough seasonings that I like and I add in some more, but today it was just perfect. So I've chopped up some smoked sausage and I'm adding that in. You can add smoked sausage, you can add chicken, shrimp, whatever seafood that you like. With gumbo, it's kind of like you use any of the leftovers that you have. So I did have leftover shrimp from a crawfish boil and I've peeled those and kind of chopped them up into smaller pieces because they were really huge shrimp. And I've added that in. So my gumbo has smoked sausage and shrimp. So that is what it looks like. It's actually done now and it's ready to eat. So you can pair this with some rice and you have yourself a delicious gumbo dinner, or you can eat it just like so without the rice and it tastes really good as well. Thank y'all so much for coming along today. I will catch you on the next video.